Thank you for tuning in. My name is BlazeLeeDragon, and today we'll be talking about the Otherkin. Now, as a reminder, if you like my videos, like what I have to say, or just like hearing me speak, remember to hit that thumb up, like, and subscribe. And don't forget to comment below. That shows me you like my videos and want me to continue to make them. Today's video is actually a request from a viewer by the name of Phoenix Starfire. So first he was welcoming me back for one of the videos I made, which actually have not been making very many lately, and he says, "Please make a video about Otherkin and Therians. I've seen the one on vampires and am myself a Psi vamp." First of all, thank you Phoenix Starfire for your video request. As with any of my viewers, feel free to ask questions and I'll be happy to answer them. Now for my disclaimer. I am not an Otherkin. I am not a Therian. I am actually just doing this as far as the research goes based upon individuals I've spoken with, research that I've done, books I've read, and internet research. So this is just kind of my summary of what I feel the Otherkin are based upon my limited experience. So if you are an Otherkin or Therian and you do not feel you are well represented in this video, I encourage you to reach out. Maybe I can have you on for a little chit-chat conversation and talk, and we can kind of discuss what you feel an Otherkin is based upon your personal practice. Don't have to have your name, don't even have to have your face, just have your voice and maybe do something over Skype and record it and put it in a new video. So I'd like to do a follow-up with this to anyone out there in the community. This is not meant to be offensive. This is not meant to be judgmental in any way, shape, or form. This is simply me sharing my thoughts and sharing a little bit of my opinion and just kind of sharing a few of the things that are available out there for people to read about. So, of course, as you've just seen, a few definitions flash across the screen. These definitions are not necessarily 100% accurate. It's just one of the many things that are out there. So let's talk about this, and let's right now compare a little bit about Therian versus Otherkin, and let's mostly focus on Otherkin today, because there is a wide variety of things that we can talk about. All sorts of different types of people, feelings, thoughts, legends, myths, and actual practices that are out there, have been, and will continue to grow. Not least of which is legends of individuals, spirits, or beings known as skinwalkers. These are a Native American tradition type of spiritual belief that there are these beings, these entities that have no form and can change and shape-shift their actual physical flesh, from what I understand. And then, of course, there is lycanthropoke, who are those who can actually shapeshift and transform into actual animal and creatures. There has been no evidence that I know of any of these creatures existing. However, there are plenty of legends and lore out there about them. Today's video will not focus on skinwalkers, nor on lycanthropoke, nor will it focus on furries. Furries is also another one of the individuals that can fall into this broader category of those that associate with animals in one shape, form, or another. Nor does anything in this video contain any form of bestiality, nor any mention of it. So again, there are a broad topics here that we can discover and discuss and think about in future videos, but for right now, I want to focus mostly on the Therians and the Otherkin. So just keep that in mind and know that there is a nod in the direction of other individuals who have other practices, other beliefs, and there are more out there. One of which I will also briefly mention just due to my personal experience and practices that I personally agree with, is a form of shape-shifting. This form of shape-shifting is involved with martial arts, where martial artists, myself included and many others, have tried to get into the actual forms and movements of the animals. This has been studied across a vast range of martial arts, and this has been extremely prevalent among the Shaolin Kung Fu animal styles, but it is not limited to them per se. Now, this is just one form of shapeshifting, and again, does not apply to Otherkin nor Therians. I just wanted to at least give acknowledgement and mention, because again, there's all these categories and topics and subjects, and it's real easy to get them confused and mixed up. And in this particular form of shapeshifting, when you're talking about using it for martial arts and Kung Fu, this is just one way of getting yourself mentally into those aspects and adapting those qualities of that animal. The degree in which the practitioner or martial artist takes this does vary from practice to practice, from school to school, and from individual to individual. There are some that just do the movements that they think it looks like the animal, so they'll do it. There are those who feel they've become the animal by focusing on that tiger or crane style, snake style, whatever the case may be. Again, there's a vast various different types of martial arts that have utilized this or some aspect of this, but not all of them do. So now back to the main topic. I think we've wasted about 2 minutes, so let's continue and talk about Therians first. Therians and Otherkin will almost talk about at the same time because there are subtle similarities. However, again, the direction and distance that individuals take it completely varies from person to person. Therians typically consider themselves to be in kinship in one way or another with animals. They identify with them, associate with them more. Some of them will feel that they are reincarnated animals. Now, when it comes to Otherkin, they may believe in mythological, I guess, kind of creatures or beings that don't necessarily exist here in the physical plane. Just because they don't exist here in the physical plane doesn't mean they're not real. Just because you want to call it a myth, such as something like a dragon or Chimera, or whatever the case may be, if you want to talk about these other beings that have not physically existed in this plane, that's not to say they're not real. Just as some individuals believe in angels or other spiritual beings, some people believe in dragons, etc. Now, the Therians, talking about actual physical animals such as a wolf or a dog or an owl, a bat, a bear, something that's actually physically here. And they can sometimes either feel that they have a kinship with that particular breed or animal or species. You know, they feel like that they are a wolf and that they are just simply in human form because perhaps they've been reincarnated. They don't necessarily believe that they are that physically. They don't feel like they can shapeshift into it like a lycanthrope or shapeshifter. They feel that they just simply are spiritually that being, and they just so happen to be human in this lifetime, but they mostly identify with being that animal that, again, is here physically today. As you've noticed earlier from the Therian definition, we're talking about a group of animals, mammals, species that exist here on the planet. So that is just the one, as far as I understand it. Now, if we talk about the Otherkin, we get a little bit more unique perspective on it. When we start talking about Otherkin, typically we're talking about individuals who believe that they are this being, and in some cases, and not on all cases, but at least most of the individuals I've spoken with personally, as well as what I've seen as far as research online, they look at themselves as being these creatures that don't necessarily exist today, such as dragons, unicorns. Sometimes it's not even necessarily just as beings. It could be fairies or elves or dwarves, gnomes, any of the creatures that you would typically associate with fantasy or mythology, that they feel that they are these beings. They just simply are here on this plane as a human. And in some cases, some of the Otherkin actually believe that they are physically different from other humans, that they have attributes or traits that are associated with these beings that make them Otherkin, and that they are genetically different than the average human because they are this other being. Now, from what I understand, there is no concrete evidence or research to substantiate that through science that they are genetically different. But this is a belief that is held by some of them. That is not every Otherkin that is out there. There are some Otherkins, too, that believe that they are these beings spiritually, and their soul is literally the soul of a dragon or the soul of a unicorn, and that they are interacting with this world, but this physical body that they're in is only an extension of part of who they are, and that they experience a lot of who they are and being that being on the astral plane or other realms of existence, whether that be through meditation or mind-altering things, out-of-body experiences, or just through their dreams when they're sleeping at night. Whatever the case may be, the Otherkin versus the Therian usually seems to distinguish the two by one finding the kinship with physical animals here, the other finding that they are this other being and that they are physically different or spiritually different enough that that makes them stand out or be associated with this animal in that way. Some Otherkin will sometimes believe also that they are part human, part this other being, so they're only partially another creature. There are Otherkin, too, that believe that they're a part of animals that exist physically here in this plane, be it fox, dog, wolf, cat, bear, whatever the case may be. It's a wide variety of things. A lot of these individuals, it's very similar to, I guess, gender switching, to where they believe that they're a female even though they're born a male, or that they are a male and they were born a female. Some of the Otherkin and Therians believe that they were simply born into the wrong body and that they were meant to be this other creature. That, again, does not apply to all of them. And again, if you yourself are a Therian, Otherkin, or one of the other that I briefly touched upon in this video, by all means reach out. Let's have a conversation. Let's do a follow-up video that's more accurate from someone who has direct experience following or believing this. So if you are one of those individuals and you've always felt that you've connected with an animal in one way, form, or another, just be aware you're not alone. There are other individuals out there. There are communities. There are online groups. There's all sorts of ways to reach out to other individuals who share your particular belief or path in life, and you don't have to walk it alone. You know, don't feel you have to be judged. Don't feel you have to fall into other people's idea of what reality is or what normal is. Be yourself. I will say that every day, all the time. It is about being you. So hopefully you found this video educational or entertaining in some way, shape, or form. I hope you enjoyed it. Continue to tune in, thumb up, like, subscribe, and continue with those comment and video requests. Thank you for watching. Remember, you're not alone, and be yourself.